girl Jazz again. It's time for another Jazzy review. This time it is the new Gear S3. Just came out, I believe, a week ago, so I've had a little time to play with it. So, I'll be opening it up. Like you couldn't have already guessed, right? Sorry, I'm in a silly mood today. And it comes with the watch, with the leather band. It actually comes with two different sizes. I believe 110 millimeter and a 70 millimeter. Basically a small and a large band. And then the charger. And comes with the charging cord. And here's the smaller band, which I probably need to switch out because it's way too big on my wrist, which I'll be going to an event about, so just be prepared with that one. It also comes with a little kind of guide to it, which, as you can tell, hasn't really been opened because I like to use trial and error. It's my best friend. That's what I usually say, at least. And here's a little charging piece that you use to charge it. And get this open. Can't you tell how much I've charged it since I've gotten it? Now I've had other cords to use it. Alright, I'm going to put it back together. And I'll see this roll as I put it together. Why do they gotta make it so complicated to put it back? It's like a puzzle. Maybe it's just user error, I don't know. We're just going to let it scroll around a little bit. It's probably upside down now, my luck. But I wouldn't expect it any other way. So I'm going to let it see what it looks like while it's charging, or at least whenever you set it so that way you know it's charging. Go in the hole. I have not had very much luck today. It's been one of those weird days where you kind of mess everything up and just gotta laugh about it. It's been one of those days for me. I think it's kind of getting too close to the holidays type of thing and ready for a break and too much going on, so yeah. Alright, so pretty much you can see it's just a little red light that shows that it's charging, and you can see. So it's been a couple of days since I've charged it. Based on the reviews and everything like that, it can last up to 4 days, so it has a longer battery life. Of course, it all depends on what you do, so it can probably last a day if you like to play games on it, which I just discovered the games today. So I don't think it's going to last 4 days after today. So, okay, now about my rant. Samsung, I have an issue with this watch. It is really bulky, and it seems to be kind of manly, and it looks ginormous on my wrist. So I'm going to need a little bit of a sleeker one, more targeted towards women. And I know I've read articles that saying that, you know, 80% of your buyers are the men, but if you make it more targeted towards women, I'm pretty sure we'll buy it. So, yeah, that's a little thing I had to get off my chest on that one. Kind of bulky and too manly looking. Even the other one, because this is the classic, and which is kind of more looking like a regular watch, which I think is pretty nice for a man, but too manly for me, so. But they also have one that kind of more of a leisure fitness looking one, which has a different band to it, but I mean, ultimately the face is the same, and you can always buy new bands for it. And one thing that I do like, though, is the bands are genuine leather. It has even a stamp on it in the back, so that way. Has a stamp on it saying that it is genuine leather. So, like I said, this is the larger band on it, and I think I probably fit. Probably here, as you can see, I have smaller wrist, not the smallest, but I can fit with a large, but if I don't want the extra slack in it, I could switch out to the small one, but that takes too much work, so I'll just stick with this one. Alright, so we're going to change the focus so that way you can see directly on the watch and see more features about that one. Alright, so we're starting out, we're going to look at the app. It's the Samsung Gear app. And we're going to open that one up. And you can see that there's actually different face watches that you can customize to. Originally, it shows up this face watch, but I'm not really good at telling time using, I don't know what you would call this, but using that, I need to actually, for the watch to actually tell me the time. So, yeah, I definitely grew up on the digital times, but as you can see different face watches, and you can actually buy different watches, and you can have different colors to your face watch too. We're going to cancel out the changes. Let's see. And like I said, you can see different faces that you can use, and of course there's more here. And I believe they teamed up with, I want to say it's Swatch for the actual faces. So it's not just a generic version of the, just generic face watches. They actually worked with a watch company, and I believe it's Swatch that they worked with to come up with some of these faces. And of course, these are the paid ones, which if you're anything like me, you're too cheap with, so you gotta stick with the free ones. Oh, look, that's cute, the Christmas ones. So if you want to be festive, you got a few different ones a few different options to choose from and download. Okay, so we got the face watches, and you can make your different choices, and then you've got your notifications on what you want to receive from your watch. Now keep in mind, the more notifications that you have, the faster that your watch is going to die. So the more you have off, the more, the longer that your battery life is going to last. And then you have your different apps that you can choose from. You can receive your text messages. You can actually make phone calls from your watch and answer your phone calls. So you don't have to have your phone in hand. However, if you're, I'd say maybe about 10 feet away from your phone will disconnect from your app and you're not able to make calls with it. So it has to be within a reasonable vicinity to be able to use that feature. As far as calling, and I believe it's going to be with text messages as well, because obviously if your phone's not connected, it's not able to, get your functions. So here is you can also get your weather, and you have your cities that you want to. It will automatically use your GPS to focus on your time, or I'm sorry, focus on your location. So that's kind of automatic, and then you can, if you want to know, if you're traveling to a different city, you can also adjust it to add those cities, and it'll refresh however often you want to refresh it, and you can also manually refresh it. Oh, see, there you go. You can use your current location or not, or you can program it. So that's one thing that I think is pretty cool. And here's some of the other features. Actually, I learned something new today too. The altibarometer is something, if you're, in the mountains and everything like that, that'll be useful. I usually stay, kind of closer to the beaches, so don't really use it as much. So I can't really give too much information about that. I'm more of a southern girl, so I like to stay warm, not really into the mountains and cold. And so yeah, I'm pretty much dying over here now. I'm freezing to death over here. Anything below 70 degrees is not my weather. I need the sun. And then of course you can link up different things. And one thing I am really bad about is losing my phone. And so one of the features that I absolutely love is that you can use the Find My Phone, and it can link it up. And so if you have your phone and lose your watch, you can use it to locate your watch, and you can hear it in just a minute. And then you can find it. And then vice versa, if you have your watch and lose your phone, you can use that as well. So that's one thing I absolutely love, because I'm always losing my phone. Probably losing my mind too, but that's, another story. You can also, if you kind of do the quick text and you don't want to manually type out long messages, you can customize your quick responses, yes, no, okay, things like that. So that's kind of pretty basic about the app. And it kind of gives you your battery life. The watch itself has 4 gigabytes of memory storage, and I've already used 2.6 gigabytes, so I have no idea what I downloaded on there, but yeah. And then as you can see, I have 44% battery life left, and so if I don't use it as much, play as much games or anything like that, it should last another day at least. But let's be realistic, I'm going to be playing games on it here soon. So we have that. Now we're going to actually look at the watch. And it's pretty. They have 2 buttons. Oh, I changed the face of it. My mistake. Okay, this is the button to start it, to get to your apps, and this is to go back to where you started. So this is going to be your home screen. And then if you use this little, what do they call it, bezel, I believe. Yeah, it's blurry, I know. This swivels so that way you can change different screens. And as you can see, this is the current temperature right now in Dallas. Like I said, I don't function in anything below 70 degrees. So for me to do in this video, you know I love you guys. Otherwise, I'd be in a blanket. And then you can have your customized, oh, no, I'm not talking to you. Sorry, my watch has its own mind. You can have your custom, I guess maybe who you call the most as your, you know, default. No. It's obviously being extremely sensitive and showing you it has its own mind. So you can easily, you know, send a text message like that. And like I said, these are your quick messages. If not, you can actually, which is kind of a pain in, is do the manual text, and you can actually handwrite it and then send a message that way as well. So we're going to go back. No, I don't want to send that one. Yes, someone discard that one. And then, of course, you can hit the call button to call them. Actually, let me see that. Yes, we're going to call Amazon because I call them, because I'm always on the phone with them. I order way too much.
Thank you for contacting Amazon.com customer service. For quality assurance and training purposes, your call may be monitored or recorded. Thank you.
So you can get an idea of the volume of the watch if you don't have your phone with you and you just want to call there, or maybe you're driving and answer a call or something like that. You can still talk on it and they can hear you just fine. So unless you have your Bluetooth in, of course you can do that. And then you can add your own reminders. So yeah, I mean, you just say that, you know, add. Oh, I like how it's writing what I'm saying.
I could not find the answer to your question.
I didn't ask a question. I told you it has its own mind. So then, let's see. Let me see. Go back. Alright. So, there you go. You can, and then if you have any events on your calendar, which I have such a busy schedule. Today's my only free day. Who am I kidding? I have no schedule. That's why I have no events today, except for making this video, which I didn't add to my calendar because I already knew that was the only thing I was doing today. Too cold. And I really haven't been too active today, as you can see. I've only done 660 calories, but then again, I haven't really been wearing the watch because I've been trying to figure out exactly what I'm going to do with this video and everything like that, so it's been more off than on. And the few little steps that I've done. Yeah, I've done only 58. I promise you I've done more than 58 steps today, but like I said, I haven't been wearing my watch. I'm not that lazy. And here's the barometer that I was telling you about. I'm not too familiar with it. I've tried to do a little bit of research, but it's well over my head. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not used to being that high off the ground or that high up in the air, so it's way over my head, unfortunately. Maybe you guys can comment and educate me a little bit and let me know what's going on with this. I've tried Googling it, and Google does not work explaining this. This is the Samsung or Android, I'm not sure. I've had all Samsung, so I believe this is just Samsung kind of articles to read. The Flipboard, and you can download the articles on there. And then this is where you can control your music. And I can let you listen to the volume. If you have it, you know, maybe if you're in your car and you have your Bluetooth on, you can control your music there. But if you don't, maybe you're just out walking or something like that and you just want to listen to your music, you can listen to it. And the volume's pretty reasonable. So I can let you hear a little bit. Then you control the volume. That's full blast. So like I said, it's pretty loud. Especially coming from such a small device. And then of course you can change the music. That's the only, I guess, song that you have. And then there's, as you can see here, it says open app. So you can open the app. And is it not working? Why are you not doing that? I said open app, but it didn't open it. Okay, see, there you go. You have your, you can change the source of your music. You can actually send music straight to your watch. And as of right now, this is the only song that I have. And then you can switch over to, you know, your phone, however you get your music from your phone, and have different music playing and things like that. And we're going to move back to the next screen. Okay, we're going to stay back to the watch. Okay, so now we're back to the watch. And then here's your different apps, or I guess different devices. So if you want to see your health and how you've been doing today and everything like that, and how active you've been within the last 24 hours. And there you go. Go back. And then you got your settings and your apps. So this is also to check if you're alive or not, as I like to joke around and say. It'll tell you your heart rate, and if I test it now, I can tell you right now it won't say much because it can't read anything. And on the back, these are your sensors where it tells you, you know, your heart rate, where it reads your heart rate, and that's how it gets your steps. So we're going to see if it'll read it without me actually fully putting it on. I think I'm alive. Yay, I'm alive! Okay, my heartbeat is completely out of whack. Probably because I don't have it on normal. Let's see what my heart rate is. Are you going to read it? Oh, sorry guys, it's been... Okay. Alright, we're going to try that again. I'm going to try and keep as still as possible. And see if it can read my heart rate. Okay. So it's not reading it right, unfortunately, right now. Probably because I'm not officially wearing it. I've never really tried it, so... without, you know, having it on like a normal watch. So obviously it doesn't work. You have to have it like a normal watch. And here you can actually challenge your friends for other gear users. You can challenge them and compete against them. So, and then... Of course, each little face is called a widget. So if you want to add more, you can go through it and add some more. Whatever you want to add. I need to add the calendar because I always forget what date it is. Okay, and one other thing. Let's go back. Alright. So we're going to go back to see the different apps. It's pretty similar to what you've already seen. Let's see. And then of course, you know what you want to do. These are actually all the apps that I currently have open. So I would suggest closing them all so that way your battery lasts longer. Kind of works the same way your phone does. And then of course you got your text messages, your phone calls, your contacts. Let's see. One of my favorites that I do like, and having such a, you know, a bigger screen, as much as I don't like it, I do like it because of the games. I can actually play games on them. And this one is a default game on here. I figured out how to play it, but I don't understand the concept of it. So, let's see. Okay, I've actually achieved, oh, there you go. So, just show you kind of a quick how to play the game. You got to keep your bats in it, and I think you have to get these little smiley face things disappeared. So you move your bevel to kind of move the little side pieces to kind of keep your little bats in line. Like I said, I haven't fully figured out how to do it, but I've mastered how to move to the next level, but I don't understand fully what I'm doing. Kind of like most games. I just use trial and error. Okay. And so that's that game. So we're going to go back. No, I want to go back. Okay. And my favorite game is Ninja Fruit. So we're going to let it load. And one of the advantages of having the touchscreen is that you can play this game. In case you don't know how to play, you just got to chop the fruit up. And of course, as I'm demonstrating, it's not going to work right. And one of the things that I'm not too thrilled about with this is that, as you can see, the touchscreen isn't as sensitive. And I mean, as you've seen, I was swiping, but apparently, see, it's not really catching like it should. Even though I'm, you know, obviously slicing everything up, it's not reacting the way it should. See, right here. And of course, as I'm trying to demonstrate how it's not working, it's working perfectly fine. My luck. Alright, so there's other games that you can play. See, there you go. It's not really functioning the way it should be. But I figured if it's not, you know, functioning the way it needs to, or it's not slicing, pick up your finger and then slice and it'll connect better. But other than that, I haven't really figured out why it doesn't function. So Samsung, that's a little kink that you need to work out. Okay, we're going to go back. So those are a little bit of the features that you see on the phone. Pretty cool. Not too much different or too much added than the Gear S2. Other than, of course, you know, the basics, the size of it. You can play games on this one. And then you have your barometer. So those are kind of the small little features that you have. Okay, YouTubers, as you've seen the kind of basics of the watch, I don't honestly see much of a, you know, benefits of this watch. As far as, you know, going from the S2, the only main thing that I like that's with this watch versus the S2 is that you get to play games on it. And the battery life's better. But in that, it's not too much of a benefit unless you use the barometer, which, like I said, I'm kind of lost with. So you want to kind of make sure that you can explain this to me better than Google can, because, like I said, I read off of Google and it's kind of just like, yeah, I'm kind of at a loss of one. Maybe because I've never used it. It says it's for meteorologists, so I listen to meteorologists. I don't do meteorology, so maybe that's another reason why. Like I said, maybe you can explain it to me, I don't know. But anyways, back to the watch. There's not too much of an added benefit from it. I actually prefer the Gear S2 because it's a little bit more sleeker. It's not as, you know, bulky and manly, like I said. So, you know, all in all, that's my review for this watch. Sorry, it turns off when I do that. I said I'm gonna kind of one of those silly moods, a little sleep deprived kind of thing, you know. And I'm cold, so I think that's kind of why my brain's not functioning fully right now. But anyways, be sure to subscribe. I said it right the first time for once. If you don't know what I'm talking about, be sure to look at my other videos. I'm pretty sure you'll get some good laughs out of this. If not, continue watching, see the outtakes, which I don't even want to know what's going to be put on there. Anyways, be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for the next Jazzy review. In the meantime, stay jazzy. Thanks, guys. Okay. Okay. I'm just that recording. Are we ready to record?
Oh, we already started.
Okay, are we ready? Final thought. I need some WD-40. It's squeaky! That cousin it, that's one. Wait, it was a hand. No, thing was a hand. It was the. I heard you. Go down, messy. It tells me you are too, because you're quiet.
Okay.
Oh, I just felt my ear. Ow! I just felt my ear.